Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran, the basics in English. Quran in English, the basics for beginners. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Surah 7, verse number 50. The companions of the fire will call to the companions of the garden. Pour down to us water or anything that Allah does provide for your sustenance. They will say, both these things has Allah forbidden to those who reject Him. So as we said previously in the previous image, that hell is here at the bottom. This is a day of judgment. You cross the Pul Sirat, you cross the bridge, and you get paradise here. So everyone in hell is at the bottom. And there will be an opportunity for the people in paradise to talk to the people in hell. And the people in hell will be begging these people to say, we're friends, and we're friends together on earth. Give us some water, give us anything that you got. You're having so nice ice block and ice cream, whatever you've got, they just send something to us. Please, guys, send something. But that is not allowed. That is forbidden. So the people in paradise cannot send anything to the people who are below them, right? So that won't be allowed. So the companions of the fire will call to the companions of the garden, pour down to us water or anything that Allah does provide for your sustenance. But they will say, both these things has Allah forbidden to those who rejected Him. So if you rejected God while you were on the planet Earth, please remember you will not get another chance again to believe in Him. You only get one chance in life. And if you get it right, you will be fine for the rest of eternity. If you get it wrong, you will be in misery for the rest of eternity. Such as took their religion to be mere amusement and play, and were deceived by the life of the world. That day shall we forget them as they forgot the meeting of this day of theirs, and as they were wont to reject our signs. And as what I mentioned in a previous episode, please remember, men, so on every calendar, every single year, we write down our dental appointment, our waxing appointment, our haircut appointment, or we got a big meeting in our business, or we got a board meeting next month, and we write everything down. This is a date of the birthdays and anniversaries. We write everything down. But the one meeting we forget to write down is the meeting with God. And we don't know when that meeting will be, because we don't know when we're going to die. But as a reminder, on your calendar in bold, just write there, remember your meeting with God. Because every single human being, irrespective of who you are and irrespective of your religion, doesn't matter what your religion is, even if you don't believe in God, it is a guarantee that you're going to meet Him. Because in the same way that it is guaranteed that you were born, the meeting of your birth was guaranteed. So similarly, the meeting of your death is guaranteed, and the meeting with your Creator is guaranteed. Your death is guaranteed. So the moment you die, that is the day you're going to meet your Creator. So don't ever forget, and don't let the life of this world deceive you, because Satan or Shaitan or the devil or Iblis or Lucifer is going to make you think that this world is just a world of amusement and play and distractions. And you're going to forget about God, you're going to forget about religion, and then you're going to be in serious problems on the day of judgment. So please remember, men, sir, never, ever, never, ever, never remove God from the equation of your life. And this is also important for our honorable members of Parliament. Remember that God is with you in Parliament. And God is going to ask you, what did you do in Parliament? Were you really concerned about the people? Did you really solve the problems of society? Or were you only interested in self-enrichment and enriching your family, enriching your pocket, and just getting fat and eating but not doing anything to stimulate your brain power? or solving the problems of the country. And this applies to every country in the world, applies to every nation in the world. The minute you take up a seat in government, you are telling the world and you are telling God that you know the solution to the problems of society. And that is why you are getting a salary. But if you don't solve the problems of society, then please don't take that salary. And if people are dying on a daily basis, then I would recommend very seriously that on every single day before Parliament starts, we must have a minute of silence. But in our case, because we've got a very high murder rate, we'll have to be quiet for a full hour before anything starts in Parliament. We need to show respect for the position of Parliament. And we need to understand very clearly that God is with us in Parliament. You cannot leave God outside the door. God is with you in your secret meetings that you're having in your boardrooms. God is with you when you are taking bribes. God is with you when you are signing those contracts to do with corruption. God is with you when you are trying to attack the whistleblowers. You cannot hide anything from God, and you will be held accountable for what you did or what you did not do. If you just go to Parliament every day and you just sit there, I refer to those people as the chair warmers. Your only job in life is to keep a hot chair. That's all you're doing. You're not helping society. You're not benefiting society in any way. So if you can't do the job, have a sense of shame and resign from that position in Parliament and give it to someone else who can do the job. Please, as a belief man, sir, we've got a beautiful country, South Africa, and we've got so much resources under the soil. And we've got the ability to transform South Africa into another Dubai or Singapore and make it the best country in the world. We've got the potential for a first world nation. But as long as we are interested in nepotism and in jobs for pals and in corruption in government and in civil society, we are faced with an uphill road. So we need to have a very strong and firm judiciary, and to ensure that criminals, whether they are criminals in civil society or criminals in government, they must be punished and exposed and named and shamed. Put their faces in the newspaper, put it on television, put it on social media. They must be brought to shame, because they promised they're going to solve the problems of this country, so why are they not solving it? And please, let's conduct ourselves in Parliament with good manners and conduct, because God is watching. You must regard Parliament as a church or a mosque. It is a sacred chamber. We cannot scream and shout and act like as if it is a circus. It is not a circus. It is a very serious matter if people are unemployed or homeless or dying every day or being raped or having HIV, AIDS or cancer of the cervix with our young children, or a high rate of premarital sex or a high rate of cervical cancer and so on. So we've got serious challenges in this country, and there's no time for play and games. And we need to remove, every time when someone is making a speech, the only thing I hear is, point of order, Mr. Speaker, point of order, Mr. Speaker, point of order. And then there's no sense in that point of order. You know, when I always say, the people will say, hey, Mr. Speaker, point of order, point of order, point of order. You know what's a point of order, man, sir? A point of order is per o, it is a poo. That's a point of order. And it's weird. What is a poo? I don't swear, but a poo is what? That is the and the nappies, ne? That is the baba sakak and the nappies. That is the point of order. So 95% of hierdie point of orders is all rubbish, as a belief man, sir. You think you are intelligent by saying point of order, but the rest of us know that as a belief it's better if you keep your mouth quiet, because you are bringing shame and humiliation to yourself. You are embarrassing yourself in front of your family and your children, because you don't know what you are talking about. So as a belief man, sir, we must stop using words like this and start working. When are we going to start working? When are we going to start fixing up the country? Ons moet fix up the country, ne? Rather use FIX and not POO asseblief mense. This thing, we must stop hearing this word in Parliament, and we must conduct ourselves in Parliament with what mense? Asseblief mense. We must have good manners in Parliament. Ne? We must have good manners, and we must have etiquette and good conduct. Ne? Because of who come? Answers role models. If we don't have good manners, how are we going to stand in front of God? God is watching how we are acting. Point of order, point of order, point of order, point of order. That is all nonsense asseblief mense. Such as took their religion to be mere amusement and play, and were deceived by the life of the world. That day shall we forget them, as they forgot the meeting of this day of theirs, and as they were wont to reject our signs. So every member of Parliament will have to answer to God what they did and what they didn't do. So if President is not asking them the questions, guaranteed God is not asking them the questions. Were they deceived by the life of this world, or did they take their job seriously? So this applies not only to the government, but it applies to everyone. All human beings on the face of the earth will face God. Whether you believe in God or not, it is a guarantee. Every single human being from the first to the last will face God. Join me in the next episode. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.